So I read this great book by a guy named Dr. Henry Cloud. It's called Boundaries. And it talks about the boundaries in our life and how we have to protect these boundaries. And so I had this realization after reading this book, and that is, if you were at work and you came home and you pulled into the driveway and there was a family and there's a bunch of people in your backyard, and they were partying and they were like having a barbecue and they were playing cornhole and they had the music going. They're in your backyard. They're in your fenced backyard. And they're just hanging out. What would you do? What would you do? Now, it's interesting because if I ask that question in Texas, I get a much different answer than if I ask that question in, San Francisco. Two different areas, right? But most people across the country have said, well, I'd tell them to leave. And I say, well, why? Why would you tell them to leave? Well, because they're in my yard. And, well, I own that property. I own that yard. And they can't just come in and take over. And what the crazy thing is people are more protective of land that they own and the boundaries of the property that they own than they are the boundaries in their life. What if we protected the boundaries of our personal space as much as we protected the boundaries of the property that we own? You don't have to let people into your yard. You don't have to let people into your personal yard, your space, the boundaries of your life. You don't have to allow toxic people in. My daughters, they're at college right now, and what I've learned about teenagers is they have really big boundary lines. They let as many people in as possible, get as many in here as possible. It's about absorption. How many people can I fit in my world? Whether it's on social media, whether it's here, whether it's there, they want as many people as possible. I'm old, I'm 48. My boundaries are getting really, really small. When I'm downsizing, people talk about downsizing. Most people say that downsizing means they're going from a certain size house to a smaller size house. They're going from a single family home to a condo, or they're going from a townhome to an apartment, whatever. They're downsizing. I'm downsizing my circle. As I get older, man, I'm excluding people out. I'm pushing people back outside the boundaries. My yard is very small, tiny, personal space yard. And the qualifications to come in that yard are things like no negativity, that you're pushing me to be better, that you are not commiserating, that you are lifting up. To me, be as protective with the boundaries of your life as you are with the boundaries of your property, and that will lead to a much happier life.